Hello, in this video we're gonna practice on chapter 7 using the booklet sheet. So let's start. This is the first page, it's page 6. So let's begin with page 6 with this question. It says extend each pattern, draw the next two shapes. So he wants us to extend that pattern and to draw the next two shapes. So let's start with the first pattern that we have. We have two hearts, then three squares, then two hearts, then three squares, then two hearts. So the next shape, depending on this pattern, is supposed to be three squares. But because the question says draw the next two shapes, only like two shapes, so there's no need to draw the third one. We can only draw two of them because he asked us to draw two shapes. Then the next question, it says, here we see that we have a triangle pointing up. Then the next triangle is pointing to the side, to the right, then down, then up again, then to the right again. So as you can see, the triangle is moving like this, like that. So after that, after the right, the pointing to the right, of course we have this triangle which is pointing down. It's supposed to be next. And after the triangle that is pointing down, we have after that the triangle that is pointing up, like that. So the answer here should be a triangle pointing down and a triangle pointing up, like that. Then here we have this question that says identify, describe and extend each pattern. He wants us to take a look at the pattern and describe it, see how it moves or how it changes, to find the rule of that pattern, and to extend it, like to write the next term. So here you have 3, then 7. So from the 3 to the 7, how much did we add? Of course, we added 4. Then from the 7 to the 11, again, we added 4. Then from the 11 to the 15, again, we added 4. Then to the 19, we added 4. So the rule here is that we're adding 4 each time. So after the 19, we need also to add 4 to get the next term. So 19 plus 4, that would be equal to 23. So this is the next term. Here we extended the pattern like we wrote the next term. So for the answer, we can say what happening, like what is the rule here. We can say add 4 and the next term is gonna be 23. Now let's do the other question. I have 64, then it turned into 61. So here we subtracted 3. Then from the 61 we got 58. So again we subtracted 3. From the 58 we got 55. So again subtracting 3. So each time in this pattern we're subtracting 3. So here to get the 52 we also subtracted 3. So to get the next term, we need to subtract 3 from this 52. So 52 minus 3, that would be equal to 49. So let's write that. Here we could say subtract 3. This is the rule. And the next term, when we subtract 3 out of that, we get 49. Then here we have number 5, 23 to 25. Here we added 2. Then 25 to the 28, we added 3. Then from 28 to 30, we added how much? 28 to 30, again 2. Then from 30 to 33, we added 3. Do you see here what do we have? We have like 2 steps of this pattern. We add 2, then we add 3. So each time we add 2, then 3, then 2, then 3, and so on. So the next here, from 33 to get 35, of course, we're adding 2. So after we add 2, the next time, of course, we add 3. So we need to add 3 for this number, which is 35. So we're going to say 35 plus 3. It's going to be what? 38. And after we get that, we need to also continue extending the pattern, since here we have 2 places to fill. So from the 38, we need to add something. Of course, here we're adding 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. So we need to add here 2. So here, 38 plus 2, that would be equal to 40. So here, we're going to say add 2. Then add 3. And the extended terms are 38 and 40. Now let's do that pattern. We have 7 to get to 12. We added 5. Then 12 to 10, we subtracted 2. Then 10 to 15, again we added 5. Then 15 to 13, we subtracted 2. From 13 to 18, we added 5. So from 18 to 16, again we subtracted 2. So here, do you see the pattern here? We add 5, we subtract 2. We add 5, we subtract 2. So this is the pattern that we have. So after we subtract 2 from this 16, from this 18 to get 16, we need to add 5 to that 16. So 16 plus 5 would be equal to 21. Then of course from that we need to subtract 2 to get the next term. So it's going to be what? It's going to be 21 minus 2, 19. So this is the pattern that we have. Then it says extend each pattern. So he gave us the rule that we need to apply, and we just need to do the work on that pattern. Here the rule says subtract 8. So each time we need to subtract 8 from the previous number. So the pattern starts with the number 48. Now we need to subtract 8 according to that, so we will get 40. Then again we need to subtract another 8. So 40 minus 8, we will get what? We will get 32. Then again we subtract 8 out of the 32. So 32 minus 8, that would gives us 24. Then again, of course, we're gonna subtract the 8 out of the 24. So 24 minus 8 equals 16. So like that, each time we subtract 8. Now let's do the other question, which says add 10. So the rule in this question is to add 10. So we will come to the first number that we have in this pattern, which is 6. So we need to add 10. 6 plus 10 equals 16. Then another 10, so 26. Plus another 10, 36. Plus another 10, 46, and so on. So each time we're adding 10. Then we have this rule that says multiply by 3. So we need to multiply each one of these terms by the number 3. So 4 multiplied by 3 equals 12. Then again 12 multiplied by 3 equals 36. Then again 36 multiplied by 3, we will get 108. Then again 108 multiplied by 3, we will get 324. The last question that we have here is to divide by 4. So here we need to each time divide by 4 to continue that pattern. So we will start with the first number that we have, which is 512. We need to divide it over 4 using the long division. So 512 divided by 4, we will get 128. Then again divided by 4, we will get 32. Then 32 divided by 4, it's going to be 8. And then 8 divided by 4, it's going to be 2. So these questions are just about doing the rule that we have here. Each time we take the rule, then we apply it to get the next numbers or the next terms that we have. Megan picked 15 blueberries on Monday, 35 on Tuesday, and 55 on Wednesday. Based on the pattern, how many blueberries will she pick on Thursday? So let's take a look at this pattern. What is going on here? First we have, let's write these numbers, 15. Then we have 35. Then we have 55. So how the number is changing? Let's see. Now to get from the 15 to 35, of course we added 20. Then to get from the 35 to the 55, again we added 20. So each time she pick another or 20 blueberry more than the day before that. So we need to add 20 to 55 to get how much she will pick on the next day. So 55 plus 20, it's gonna be 75. So this is how much she will pick on Thursday. Then the question says, question 12, Barry ran 30 miles in April, 60 miles in May, 50 miles in June, and 80 miles in July. Suppose the pattern continues. How many miles will he run in August? So let's see. The pattern says 30. Let's write the numbers that we have. Then 60. Then 50. Then 80. Then how much? Let's see. So from the 30 to the 60 here, we added how much? We added 30, of course, to get the 60. Then from the 60 to the 50, we will what? We need to subtract 10 to get from 60 to 50. Then again, to get from the 50 to the 80, we're gonna add 30 again. So of course, to get from the 80 to the next number, we need to subtract 10 because the pattern is plus 30 minus 10, plus 30 minus 10, and so on. So we need to minus 10 from this 80. So 80 minus 10, it's going to be what? It's going to be 70. This is how we solve this question. Let's continue to the next page. In this page, we have write an equation that describes the pattern, then use the equation to find the next three numbers. So we need to take a look at the input and the output to write an equation and to see how the three next numbers will be. So let's see. First, we start with the input. Always we write the input. The input here is A, so I will write A. Then I will take a look at one of these inputs. I have 2, the number 2. Then this number changed to the 7. So what happened to the 2 to become a 7? Of course, we added 5 to that. So we added 5 to who? To this 2, which is what? Which is an input. So I will go here, I will say plus 5 to A, because A is the input. And that equals to what? That equals to the 7, which is what? Which is the output. So it's going to be B. Here we have A and B. So to check that, we need to take a look at the numbers that we have and check our equation. The equation says each time you take the input, the numbers here, you add 5, so you get the outputs, which are the numbers here. So let's check that. For here, we need to add 5 to get the output. So yes, 4 plus 5 gives us 9. Here, the 6 is the input. We need to add 5. 6 plus 5, yes, correct, equals 11. So now we can find the next three terms. 8, we need to add 5 to that to get to the output. So 8 plus 5, that would be equal to what? That would be equal to 13. Then 10 plus 5, that would equals to 15. Then we have 12 plus 5, that would be equal to 17. So the next three terms are 13, 15, and 17. Let's do the other question. Here we have 10. We're starting with the input, that is 10. Then this 10 converts into an 8. So, to write the equation, first we write the letter of the input that we have, which is x. So, now we're going to take a look at the inputs here, the numbers here. What happened to them? We see here that the 10 became 8. So, of course, there is a -2 on this 10 that make it an 8. So this means that we need to subtract 2 of the x, which is the input, to get the value of the output, which is y. Now let's check our equation. Here I have 13, we need to minus 2. So 13 minus 2, yes, 11. 16 minus 2, yes, 14. Now we need to work that on the other terms. We need to subtract 2 of all of them. So 19 minus 2, that equals to 17. 22 minus 2, that equals to 20. 25 minus 2, that equals to 23. Now let's write that. Here the next three terms are 17, 20, and 23. Now let's do the other table. Here I have 2. This 2 happened to become a 6. Okay, you might think, yes, we added 4, but let's try that. If we're gonna add 4 here, the 4 to the 4 is gonna be 8, and here we have a 12. So no, it is not adding. It is not an adding pattern. Let's think of something else. How could we change the 2 into the 6 without adding? We could try multiplying. If I multiply the 2 by 3, 2 times 3 equals 6. Let's try the 4. If I multiply it by 3, yes, I will get to 12. So let's try the 6. 6 times 3 equals 18, correct? So yes, the rule here for this pattern is that we multiply by 3. So 8, we need to multiply that by 3. 8 times 3, that equals to 24. Then we have 10. 10 times 3 equals to 30. Then 12 times 3 is going to equals to 36. So here we're going to say, let's write the equation. We take the input, which is C. We multiply it by 3. So we get the output, which is what? Which is D, not Y. So the next terms are 24, 30, and 36. Now let's continue. Here we see that the numbers converting from the input to the output and become very small. So directly when we see that the numbers are getting smaller, we think of the division. The division or the subtracting. But let's try the division now. The 30, how could we change this 30 to become a 5? Maybe we could divide that by 6, because 30 divided by 6 equals 5. Again, let's try that here. 36 divided by 6 equals 6, correct? 42 divided by 6 equals 7, that is correct. So we need to divide the other numbers over 6. So here we're dividing over 6. 48 divided by 6 equals 8. 54 divided by 6 equals 9. And 60 divided by 6 equals 10. So each time, what we're doing, we're taking the input, which is R, we're dividing it over the number 6. So we get what? We get the output, which is S. So the next terms are 8, 9, and 10. Now let's do the other examples. Here we have find the value of each expression. We want to find out the value of these expressions. As you can see here, we have a multiple of operations. We have adding, multiplying, subtracting, dividing, all of the operations. So let's remember the rule that we have when we have a multiple rules to do. We always start with parentheses or brackets, these things. Then we do multiplying and dividing. And lastly, we do adding and subtracting. So we always do them by like a step by step. We always start with that. Then we do that, then we do that. So let's see here, what do we have? I have 7 plus 2 multiplied by 3. So I have adding and multiplying. So of course we do the multiplying first. Here we don't have parentheses, yes. So if we don't have the first, we go to the second one. So I need to work the multiplying first. 2 times 3, that equals to 6. All of that. Then you do that other operation. You have 7. 7 plus 6, that would be equals to what? That equals to 13. Then, here we have this one. We have subtracting and multiplying. So we always start with, of course, with multiplying. I need to multiply 1 times 10, that equals to 10. Then we subtract. So 14 minus 10, that equals to what? That equals to 4. Then I have 8 times 3 minus 5. So we need to do the multiplying first. So I have 8 multiplied by 3, that equals to 24. Then we subtract. So 24 minus 5, that equals to 19. Then here I have parentheses and dividing. So I need of course to do the parentheses first. I have 11 minus 3. 11 minus 3 equals 8. Then 8 divided by 4 equals 2. Then here we have multiplying and parentheses. So of course we start with the parentheses. I have 9 plus 1, that equals to 10. Then 6 multiplied by 10 equals to 60. Then we have, if Dharma babysits 2 hours, she earns $14. If she babysits 4 hours, she earns 28. Now let's see what happened here. Write an equation that describes the relationship between the amount of money that Dharma earns, B, and the number of hours that she babysat, A. So here we're gonna call the hours is our input. So the hours is the input. Here it says hours is A. So here is the hours is A. And we always start and we write the input. Now A is the input. So she starts babysitting 2 hours, so she got 14. Now you're gonna think how we could change this 2 to 14. We can add it to some number, which is 12, or we can multiply it by 7. So multiplying by 7 or adding to 12. Now let's try to see the other two numbers and decide which one of these is the correct operation. When she babysat for 4 hours, she earned 28. Now how could we change the 4 to a 28? We could add a 24, or we could multiply this 4 by 7. So what is the common operation that we have in both of them? Of course, the operation must be the same. So here we multiply by 7 and here we multiply by 7 also. So adding does not work here because here we need to add a 12 and here we need to add a 24. So no, this is not working. We're gonna do the multiplying. It's gonna be like our operation. So what happens here to the input, that we take the input, we multiply it by 7, so we get the output, which is what? Which is B. How much money does Dharma earn if she babysits 6 hours? So now let's see. We're gonna just directly work in our equation. What is the hours here? Depending on the previous question here, the number of hours is A and B is money. So let's write that here. This A is hours and this B is money. So it says for 6 hours. So we want to come here for the hours, replace this A by the number 6. So this is what we're doing. We're gonna come here, take out this A, we're gonna put instead of it 6. Then we write all the same. multiplied by 7 equals B. Okay, let's multiply now. 6 times 7 is 42. So B equals to 42. Where is B? Don't forget B is money. So she will earn $42 if she babysit for 6 hours. So this is the end of the second page, which is page 7. Now let's move to page 8. Here we have extend this pattern. So let's see what we have. We have one moon, then 2 circles, then 2 moons and 3 circles, then 3 moons and how many circles? Let's see. So first we had 2 circles, then 3. So like the number of the circle is increasing. So I guess after that we should have 4 circles, because the number of the circle is increasing by 1, as well as the number of the moons, because first we had 1, then we had 2, then we had 3. So the circle, we have the same rule, that each time we're adding 1 to them. So we started by 2 circles, then 3 circles, then of course 4 circles. So the correct answer is going to be 4 circles, which is answer B. Next, here B. The next pattern says 2, 6, 10, 14 and so on. So from the 2 to 6 we need to add what? 2 to get 6, we need to add 4. 6 to 10, and also we're going to add 4. 10 to 14, adding 4. 14 to 18, adding 4. So each time we add 4 to get the next term. So after the 26, we need to add 4 to that. So 26 plus 4 equals 30. And of course, after that, we need to add another 4. So 30 plus 4 is 34. So the correct answer is going to be this one, which is answer G. Then, find the value of each expression. Remember the rule that we have. We always start with parentheses, then we do multiplying and dividing, and finally we do adding and subtracting. So here I have 3 plus 6 times 2. We should do the multiplying first. So 6 times 2 equals 12. 12 plus 3 equals 15. This is the correct answer. Then we need to do what? We need to do 14 minus 3 times for this question. Of course, we should do the multiplying first here. So 3 times 14 equals 12. Then we subtract. Here I have 14 minus 12 equals 2. So this is the correct answer, which is F. After that, I have 8 divided by 2 plus 2. So I need, of course, to do the dividing first. 8 divided by 2 equals 4. 4 plus 2 equals 6. So 6 is the correct answer. After that, I have the question 6 that has parentheses. If you can see here, these are the parentheses. So directly we do them. The first thing. So 8 plus 7, that equal to 15. 15 divided by 5 equals 3. So the correct answer is 3, which is answer G. After that, I have subtracting and parentheses. So of course we need to do the parentheses first. 6 divided by 3 equals 2. Then we subtract, so 18 minus 2 equals 16. After that, I have find the value of y when x equals 4. So do you see? Here we have equations, but don't panic because he gave us the value for x. He said that x equals 4. So what should I do? You will come to these equations and take out each one of these x and put 4 instead of it. Okay? Here also I have x, so you should put 4 instead of this x. Here also you need to put 4 instead of the x. Then what should I do? You just find the value for that, just like with the rules that we know. We do parentheses first, then dividing and multiplying, and finally adding and subtracting. So we come here. Here we have parentheses, then we have multiplying. So of course we need to do the parentheses first. I have 4 plus 4, that equals to 8. Then 8 multiplied by 5 equals what? I'm sorry, 8 multiplied by 5 equals 40. So the correct answer is 40. Then I have question 9. I have parentheses and I have subtracting also. So I need to do the parentheses first. 4 divided by 2 equals 2. Then 12 minus 2 equals 10. So 10 is the correct answer. After that, I have question 10 says 48 divided by this parentheses. So of course we should do the parentheses first. 4 plus 2 inside the parentheses equals 6. Then 48 divided by 6 equals 8. So this is the correct answer. After that, I have some word problems. So the first question says, Leslie has 3 cups on the first shelf, 6 cups on the second shelf, and 9 cups on the third shelf. How many cups will be on the fourth shelf? So she has first 3 cups, then she has 6, then 9, then how many in the next? Of course, the pattern here is that we're adding 3 each time. So it's going to be 12 because we need to add 3 to the 9 to get a 12. So 12 cups is the correct answer. After that, I have Lula. This is Lula, I guess. Jumps rope for 15 minutes on Monday. She jumps rope 10 minutes each day. 10 more minutes each day. Do you see that? Like here, he gave us the pattern. So here, each day she jump 10 more minutes. So here, this is the rule. The rule here is that we add 10. So how many minutes does she jump on Thursday? So first, this is on Monday. Okay? So let's see the pattern. So here first, let's write the name, the days. We have Monday. After Monday, what do we have? Monday, then Tuesday. I'll just write like that. Then Wednesday, then Thursday. You see the days? So first on Monday, she jumped for 15. Then she each time jumped 10 more. So for Tuesday, she jumped 15 plus 10, that equals to 25. Then she jumps another 10 on Wednesday, so she will get 35. Then for Thursday, another 10, so she will get 45. So the correct answer here is answer H, which is 45 minutes. Now let's see here, we have some tables that we need to get the information or the equation that we have it here from this information that we have. Let's take a look at the input and the output. The input here was 4 and it converts to 16. It becomes 16. So how the 4 can become 16? Of course, by multiplying it by 4. So let's write the equation. The input is E. We multiply it by 4. We get the output, which is F. So we write F. So each time we take that number here, we multiply it by 4. Each time we multiply it by 4. Each time we multiply it by 4. So here I have 10 multiplied by 4. That of course equals to 40. Then I have 12 multiplied by 4. That would equals to 48. So the next terms are 40 and 48. So let's see which one of these answers is the correct one. Of course, answer D. Now, let's do number 14. The input here was 5, then it became an 8. So how could the 5 become an 8? By one way, if we added 3 to it. So plus 3. Then the 8 to 11, again plus 3. Then 11 to 14 plus 3. So what happened here to the pattern? We take the input, we add 3, so we get the output. So here, to get the outputs, we need to add 3 to that. So 14 plus 3 equals 17. Then 17 plus 3 equals 20. So the correct answer is we take the input, we add 3, so we get the output. So 17 and 20. So A plus 3 equals B. So the last question that we have is this table. Use the equation to complete the function table. Okay, so here we have an equation here. Inputs and outputs, the same thing. But each time we take the value of the input, we put it in that table and we find the value of that output. So here I have, for example, 1 is the input. We come here to this equation and we replace the 1 with this value. So we put 1 here. Then we do the math. We just calculate. So how should I do it? I always start with parentheses. I have 3 multiplied by 1 equals 3. Then I add 8 to that. So 8 plus 3 equals what? Equals 11. So here we go. Again, we take the other input, which is what? Which is 2. We come here, we put 2 here. So 2 multiplied by 3 equals 6. Then 6 plus 8 equals 14, correct? Then again with the 3. Let's do it with the 3. We come here, we put 3. So 3 times 3 equals 9. Then 9 plus 8 equals 17, correct? Now let's do the last one, which is this one. Let's do the 4. 4 times 3, that equals to 12. Then 12 plus 8 equals 20. So the solution here is 20. It's supposed to be 20, which is answer B. And that's it. We finished the booklet work for chapter 7.